Okay, so hello everyone. So our today's topic is actually adding and subtracting radicals. Okay, so you're thinking, whenever you're thinking about radical, you're thinking about the square root. Okay, so today we are actually going to talking about the adding and the subtracting. Okay, so in this section, there's actually no really important topic or property or definition we need to talking about. So I'm just going to show how to perform those operation in the problem. Okay, the operation is the adding and the subtracting. Okay, let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna show how we do the adding and the subtracting of the radical in the real problem. Okay. So now let's go to the question. Okay, let's go to the question. So let me take a look how many questions will we have. So okay, I got totally 5 questions. So now is the time for you to actually, if you feel like some questions are easy for you, then now is the time for you to actually skip it. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, I will talking all those questions in detail. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to question 1, which we started. Okay, so question 1, the question is simple to say we want to simplify by combining like terms. Okay, so we want to simplify them by combining like terms. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit, show a better view for the question 1. Okay, so the question 1, what we have is we have 3 square root of 10, and then we have a negative 2 square root of 10, and then we having a positive square root of 10. Okay, so how you actually combine those terms is basically, you see we having the same square root, which is square root of 10, right? So all you have to do is doing the adding of those numbers. Okay, so what you have to do is using 3 minus 2, and then here we have plus 1 of square root of 10. So that's all you have to do. You just adding the coefficient. Okay, adding the coefficient. So here 3 and then negative 2 and then positive 1. Okay, and then what we have is 2. Our final solution will be 2 to the square root of 10. Okay. Yeah, so our final solution after we combining those terms, yeah, so we get the final solution as 2, the 2 square root of 10. Okay. Okay, so let's move into the next question. Okay, so as over here, question 2 over here, let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, so you can see over here what we have is the square root of 27, right? And then we having a square root of 12. So as you can see over here, we actually need to simplify a little bit, because we cannot do any subtraction over those 2 terms, right? So we have to simplify a little bit, and then we are able to doing this. Then we may able to doing the subtraction over those 2 terms. Okay, so let me take a look. So as everyone know, 27 is actually equal to 3 to the power 3, right? Okay. One moment, please. Yeah. So 27 is actually 3 to the power 3. So you can actually write 3 to the power 3 equal to 3 to the power. Let me actually write a little bit better, I think. Okay. I think there's a little bit mess. So we can actually write 3 to the power 3 as 3 to the power 2 multiply another 3, right? Okay, and as everyone knows, 12 is actually equal to 3 multiplied by 4, and we know that 4 is actually equal to 2 squared, right? Okay, so let me actually plug those numbers in. Okay, so we have 27 can be written as 3 to the power 2 multiply another 3. Okay, and then for 12, what we have is we can write 12 as 3 multiply 2 to the power 2. Okay, we could write out those as well, and we know that they are both square root. Okay, so we can actually cancel. We can actually cancel some terms, right? So we having for the first term we having 3 to the power 2. So we can actually simplify this into 3, the 3 square root of 3, right? Okay, and over here you can see the next term what we have will be having 2 to the power 2. So we can actually simplify this out, right? And then what we have is 2 to the 2. We have 2 square root of 3. Okay, so now you can see we are actually able to simplify more. After we simplify we are able to simplify more, right? Okay, so as I say before, they having the same square root. They all having the square root of 3. So all you have to do is all you have to do is subtracting the coefficient. The coefficient over here is 3 minus 2, and then the root of 3. So our final solution, 3 minus 2 is actually equal to 1. So it's just simply the square root of 3. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, so our final solution, so for question 2 is the square root of 3. Okay. Okay, so let's move into the next question. Okay, question 3. As you can see, so when you actually doing your question, the first step is always you want to examine the question and then thinking about how you actually going to solve it. Okay, so over here you can see we having those square root, right? We having those kind of like square root, and nothing is in common. So we have to simplify each of them to actually doing some further to actually doing some further simplification, right? So by first we have to simplify each of those terms as simple as we can, right? So let's focus on this. Let's focus on 63 first. Okay, let's focus on 63 first. So everyone knows 63 is actually equal to. Let me think about it. 63 is actually equal to 3 multiplied by 21, right? Okay. Let me check again. Yeah. Okay, I think it's right. Yeah, I think it's right. And everyone know that. Let me actually write in a better form. Okay, I think it's kind of like a little bit mess. So let me continue. Okay, so over here we have 3 multiplied by 21, and then we know 21 is actually equal to 3 multiplied by 7, right? So this is already in the simplest form. So that right? And furthermore, we can write 3. We can cause we have 2 3 over here, so we can write 3 to the power 2 multiplied by 7, right? Okay, so so you always want to write something into the power 2, cause that's basically how you actually cancel out. That's actually how you actually remove the square root, right? So basically when you're actually writing those integers, you always try to write something into a square. Okay. You try your best to write a number into something square multiplied by something else. Okay. Okay. So now let's focus on the second number. Okay, the second number, as you can see, you take a look about second number, so you can see that we can actually simplify a little bit more, right? So the second one will be we are focusing on the we are focusing on the square root of 28. Okay. 28, we can write it as 28 as 2 multiplied by 14, right? Okay, and then And then, for 14, we can actually write 14 as 2 multiplied by 7, right? Okay. And as you can see, we have actually 2 over here, so we can actually write as 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 7, right? So now we are actually having a form with some square, right? So you always try to want to make some square, because that's how you actually that's how you actually removing those square root, right? So you always want to try to write a number into something square, multiply some other number, maybe. Okay, so now now let's take a look about the last integer. Okay, the last integer, as you can see, we cannot simplify more. We just cannot simplify, because this number 5 square root of 7 is already in the simplest form, so we don't have to do anything. Okay, so now let's actually plug in those numbers in. Okay, so you know that 63 is equal to 3 to the power 2 multiplied by 7, right? And then we have minus 2, and then you know that 28 is actually equal to 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 7, right? And then we don't have to doing anything with 5 to the square root of 7, because it's already in the simplest form. Okay, so now we are able to actually simplify. We are able to cancel the square root, some part of the square root, right? So you can see we having 3 to the power 2. So after the we have seen 3 to the power 2. So we can simplify this to this, right? We can actually simplify this to 3, the square root of 7, right? And then we having a negative 2. Right, we have minus 2, and then you can see over here, we can actually simplify this into 2, the square root of 7, right? Because we having 2 to the power 2 over here, right? So we can actually simplify this into 2 square root of 7, right? And after that, you just copy the last one, copy the 5 to the square root of 7. Okay, and then we have to simplify a little bit more. Over here, you can see 2 multiplied by 2 is actually equal to 4 square root of 7, and then plus 5 square root of 7. Okay, so as you can see, now we having the same square root. Which is square root of 7, right? So square root of 7. So now we are able to doing addition and subtraction, because we having the same square root of 7, right? So what you do is 3 multiply. You just adding and subtracting those coefficients. Okay, 3 minus 4 and then plus 5. Yeah. Okay. So over here you just can simply like adding and subtracting those coefficients. Okay. So our final solution will be 4 square root of 7. Okay, so let me check again. Yes, so our final solution for this problem will be 4 to the square root of 7. Okay. Okay, so let's move into the next one. Okay. Yeah. So the next one, over here, as you can see, we having some rational number, right? We having some rational number. Okay, so as I tell you guys before, for rational number, right? So let me actually give you one example. Okay, so for rational number, rational number, sorry. If you actually want to adding, so over here we having adding, right? So if you want to actually adding rational number, suppose we having something like 3 over 2 and then 3 over 1. So what we get is 3 over 3 is equal to 1, right? Is equal to 1. So you want to make sure the denominator will be the same, right? If you want to actually adding the denominator, if you want to actually add in the rational number, you want to make sure the denominator is the same, right? The denominator, okay, is the same, okay? So that's the key idea over here. So you want to make sure the denominator is the same, so you are able to doing any addition or subtraction, okay? So over here you can see the denominator for the first number is actually square root of 20 over 5, right? So we have here a denominator which is equal to 5, right? And as you can see, the second the second number what we have is 2 over square root of 5. So what you have to do over here is you want to multiply this number with 1, okay? So you cause over here you can see the first the denominator for the first number is actually equal to 5, so you want to make them having the same denominator. So therefore you have to multiply square root of 5 over square root of 5, because that is just simply 1. So the whole equation is still balanced, right? The whole equation, the whole question is still balanced, okay? So let me actually doing the next step. So after that we just multiply those two numbers together, okay? Because we were actually getting, after we multiply the 1 over here, right? So now you can see we are actually having the same denominator, right? So now we are actually having the same denominator, so we are actually able to doing some operation, right? So now we are actually able to doing some operation, okay? So the next thing you right now you focus on is to actually simplify a little bit of this number, okay? So as you can see, the numerator let me actually step by step, okay? Let me actually talking about this step by step, I guess. So the thing for you to for now is you try to focus to actually simplify the number, the square root of 20, okay? The square root of 20 over here, and everyone know 20 is actually equal to 4 multiplied by 5, right? And 4 can be written as 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 5, right? Okay, so let me actually move it down a little bit, okay? So right now we can actually simplify this a little bit more, right? So square root of 20 can be written as 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 5, right? And then we have plus 2 to the power 5, 2 square root of 5, okay? So of course, our over here you can see we having the same denominator, so we are actually you are able to adding those numbers together, okay? We are able to adding those numbers together. So after we simplify a little bit more, and then it becomes 2 to the 2 square root of 5, and then plus 2 square root of 5, right? Okay, so basically the thing over here is that you can see we having a square root of 2 over here. So you are able to simplify this into 2. You are able to simplify this into 2 square root of 5, and then you add the other side, plus 2 to the power 2 plus 2 square root of 5. Okay, so after that we are almost close to the end. 2 to the power 2 to the square root of 5 plus 2 to the square root of 5, both of them are square root of 5. So you just adding the coefficient, which is 4. You just adding the coefficient. 2 plus 2 equal to 4, so it's 4 square root of 5. Okay, so now you take a final look. Are you able to simplify more? And the answer is no. Okay, so you are not able to simplify more than that. So this is our final solution for this question 4. Okay, so let me actually show all the steps. Okay, So you always have to thinking about what have to do next. Are you actually able to simplify? Are you able to simplify? Are you able to simplify more, or it's already in the simplest form? If it is already in the simple form, then you don't have to do anything. You just copy it down. Okay. Okay. So now let's move into the last question. Okay, let's move into the last question. So the last question over here is we want to simplify it. Okay, we want to simplify it by combining like terms again. So, but this one is a little bit different. Okay, so since this one is actually the last question, pause the video as I try to do it by yourself. Okay, pause the video. Okay, so now let's do the question together. Okay, let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, we're good. So as you can see in this question, right? So in this question, you see that you see that there's actually two terms, right? The first term is actually 5, the square root of 2y to the power 2, right? And the second term you can see over here is we having the second term is actually negative 3y square root of 8. So right away you should know that we are actually able to simplify for the first term. We are actually able to simplify the square root of 2y squared, right? And for the second term, we are actually able to simplify the square root of 8, right? Okay, so let me actually write it down over here. So you know that 8 is actually 2 to the power 3, right? 8 is actually 2 to the power 3. So you can write them 2 to the power 3 as 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2, right? So over here we are actually dealing with square root. So you, as I repeat many times, you always try to make something like a square, to actually cancel, to actually simplify it, right? To actually remove the square root, right? To actually simplify it, right? So over here, as you can see, over here we can add over here you can see over here. Okay, so let me actually clear a little bit, write a little better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So over here you can see over here in the square root we having a y to the power 2, right? So you can just simplify this, right? I mean, you can just just write it down y, right? Because over here we having y to the power 2, so and we having a square root, right? So y to so simply the square root of y squared is just simply y. So you write it down y, and then we cannot do anything with the square root of 2. So you write it down square root of 2. Okay, and let me so that, and for the next term, or you write it down negative 3y, and over here you see that square 8 is actually equal to 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2, right? Okay, so let me actually writing this in a better way. Okay, so I'm kind of like rearranging it. So now what we have for the first term is 2. What we have for the first term is 5 square root of 2y. Okay, and then what we have is minus 3y, and then we have multiply. In the square root. You can see we having a 2 to the power 2. So you can just simply write it down 2, and we having another 2. So we cannot doing anything with that. So you just write it down square root of 2. Okay, the square root of 2. Alright, so now you basically so now we have to multiply them. So let me actually so over here you can see we having 3y. We having a 3y multiplied 2 to the 2 square root of 2, which is 6 square root of 2y. Okay, so let me actually check again. Okay, so we have 3y multiplied 2 square root of 2, so it is actually 6 square root of 2y. Okay, so now as you can see, for both of them, okay, so for both of them, we having a variable y, right? So we having both of them, we having a variable y, and for the coefficient, what we have is 5 square root of 2, and then minus 6 square root of 6 square root of 2. So they both have square root of 2, right? So they actually basically both of them actually have a square root of 2. So over here, what you basically going to do is you're using 5 minus 6, and then since square root of 2y, they both of the term have it, so you just copy it down. Okay, so our final solution will be negative square root of 2y. Okay, so over here, right? So over here, let me actually repeat again. So over here, you can see, both of them having, both of the term having square root of 2y in common. So you just copy it down, and then you minus the coefficient. So the coefficient, which is 5 minus 6. So 5 minus 6 is negative 1. So our final solution will be negative square root of y. Okay, that's our final solution for question 5. So hopefully you're just getting the right solution. Okay. So yeah, so that's basically everything. That's basically everything, for the topic of that's basically everything about how you are actually going to solving those adding and subtraction, how you actually solving adding and the subtraction radicals. Okay, so make sure you actually subscribe to my channel. Okay, so make sure, one second, one moment. Okay, so make sure you actually does subscribe to my channel. Okay, so if you still like having some question, make sure you leave a comments below. Okay, so if you still having some question, okay, let me actually show a better view. Okay, I know some people may need this, that's why I always I always try to show everything at the end. Okay, so okay, so again, so if you still having some question, so if you're still having some questions, then please leave a comments. Okay, please leave a comment below. I will try to answer those questions as soon as I see it. Okay, I will try to answer. Okay, I will. Okay, so yeah, right. So yeah, also one more time, make sure you always subscribe to my channel. Okay, subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notify button. I will keep uploading video. If you have questions, leave a comments. Okay, hopefully you guys does learn something from this video. Okay, and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.